Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered what your legacy in life will be? That's exactly what Villager Phil Berkowitz was doing when he decided to put a lavish indulgence on hold and instead mark the memory and courage of men and women who walked into one of the greatest atrocities in history. Borrowing from the familiar Hanukkah menorah, a symbol of Jewish celebration, this is the moving story of the extraordinary Todah Menorah.
At this time in my life, I have no heirs. This is my legacy. I was going to buy a Mercedes supercar. One morning I was shaving and looking in the mirror, and I said to myself, why am I alive? Circumstances could have been if I was in Europe, I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be looking in the mirror. So who do I owe that I'm alive? It's the soldiers who sacrificed their lives saving the Jewish people.
The Liberators in 1944 consisted of the Russians and the British and the Canadians. The United States came in to become a liberation force in 1945.
Well, I'm considered a liberator. I was with the 30th Infantry Division in April of 1945. In fact, the entire war, we had no inkling of what a concentration camp was. We never heard anything about that until we came across this little town of Farsleben, and there we found this train of 2,500 Jews, and that was our first experience with the Holocaust.
The symbolism is there are 3 British soldiers. They were the first to actually combat the Nazis from the Allied forces, followed by 3 Soviet soldiers. They were the next, and the final were the 3 Americans. And those are the 9 lights in a typical menorah. The Star of David was found broken, shot full of holes, cracked, and was in the ashes of the Holocaust. And the 3 hands signify the hands of the fallen lifting it up. And when it gets to a vertical position, God strikes it like with lightning and welds it together, and it will never fall again.
Todah, T-O-D-A-H, which in Hebrew means thank you. The significance is to thank those liberators of the greatest generation who gave everything, and we're losing them. They are a treasure that will never be replaced. What our mission is and what our future plans are to take this and have 5 placed around the world. 1 in the United States, 1 in Canada. The Canadian troops fought under the British flag, the British and the Russians, and of course we're going to have a Todah Memorial in Israel. Our theme of the Liberator Foundation is to preserve, to honor, and to educate. Ergo, the purpose is to have a moving Todah Menorah Memorial travel throughout the country. And that is strictly by donations and sponsors that would like to have that somewhere in the United States, and we are open.
It's quite important because it's something as a reminder to the younger generation today that they should never let this happen again.
The fine details found in the Todah Menorah were inspired by historic wartime relics, and the final sculpture weighs approximately 1,300 pounds. As many of the liberators are now in their 90s or have since passed, Berkowitz and Sweeney realize they're up against the clock in their efforts to tour the existing Todah Menorah, as well as fulfill their dream of funding, creating, and placing the additional tributes. For more information about donating, sponsoring, or hosting the menorah, you can visit liberatorfoundation.org.